Hey everybody, it is Econ with Dave, a post from William Yang. The Chinese government is preventing a Chinese-American banker from Wells Fargo and separately an employee from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office from leaving the country's reports say on Sunday. Alright, why don't we go ahead and break it open and see what is currently going on. Here we are, summary of events. China has imposed exit bans on 2 Americans, as we've said. A U.S. government employee from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office / Department of Commerce, and a Wells Fargo managing director, who is a Chinese American. So here's some more information. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office employee. The employee traveled to China in a personal capacity to visit family, but was made subject to an exit ban by Chinese authorities in mid-April 2025. Chinese officials seized the person's passport, credit card, cell phone, and iPad in Chengdu on April 14th, while other documents were returned later on April 22nd. The individual was told he could not leave the country. It's reported that he did not disclose his United States government employment on his visa application, which may have been connected to the exit ban. The United States Department and Embassy have confirmed the case and are working to resolve it, but the identity of the employee have not been made public. Now, the Wells Fargo banker. He is a U.S. citizen, born in Shanghai and currently based in Atlanta, serving as a managing director at Wells Fargo, the international factoring business. The Chinese authorities have imposed an exit ban on Mao as part of a criminal investigation. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spoke and confirmed that she is not in detention, but cannot leave the country for the time being and has an obligation to cooperate within the investigation. No further details on the nature of the alleged crime have been provided. Her LinkedIn activity as of the last 2 weeks indicates she is still online, and auto-reply on her work email indicated she was traveling overseas. Wells Fargo has suspended executive travel to China in response, and the company is working through official channels for her to return. The U.S. government and the corporate responses. The U.S. Embassy in Beijing and the State Department have both raised concerns about arbitrary exit bans and have called for the release of the affected United States citizens. The United States has warned Americans to exercise extreme caution while traveling to China, especially those with government ties, dual nationality, or involvement in sensitive industries. Wells Fargo is actively working through appropriate channels and tracking the situation closely, but have not provided any details. Now, what are some broader implications of this? The rise in exit bans. These incidences are seen as a broader increase in China's use of exit bans on foreigners, especially amid heightened U.S.-China tension. Business climate risk. The business community sees this risk for U.S. and Western executives traveling to China, with some companies reconsidering travel for staff, as well as a political backdrop. This comes at a time when the U.S. and China are engaged in difficult trade negotiations, including tariffs and other deadlines that are coming along. Why does this matter? For Americans in China, there's a risk of being subject to an exit ban without warning, especially for those with U.S. government or sensitive corporate ties. For U.S.-China relations, this sours diplomatic and business relationships that can be used to negotiate during, that can be used as leverage during negotiations. Now, some U.S. firms like Wells Fargo are suspending executive travel out of China out of an abundance of caution. So what does this mean? This is China doing what China usually does. This isn't very surprising. A U.S. government worker and a Wells Fargo director are currently being prevented to leave. The government worker is being held for failing to disclose, and the Wells Fargo executive is caught up in an unspecified criminal investigation. So, for what we know, neither is under physical detention. The highlighting is the increasing risk for Americans, especially those with government or financial sector backgrounds, while traveling to China during these tense diplomatic times. What an insane story this is. And we're going to be keeping you guys updated with this. My own personal take is this is what probably China does. I'm sure the U.S. has done this before to Chinese, citizens. And all we can do from now is to watch and see it pans out and hope for the safe return of both of these individuals. This is some scary stuff. So y'all, remember, stay safe.